Hello everyone. Welcome to my YNR 24 spoilers. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Winner of the Daytime Emmy. Susan Walters of The Young and the Restless is an outstanding supporting actress. At the 52nd Annual Daytime Emmy Awards, which honored the best and brightest of daytime television, your favorite celebrities dressed to the nines and partied the night away at the Pasadena Civic Center in Los Angeles. It was a stunning night to remember. The nominees for the Outstanding Supporting Actress Daytime Emmy this year: Sarah Horton, portrayed by Lindsay Godfrey, Days of Our Lives, as Sally Spectra, played by Courtney Hope, The Restless and the Young; Christina Davis, played by Kate Monsey, General Hospital; Teresa Donovan, played by Emily O'Brien, Days of Our Lives; Diane Jenkins Abbott, played by Susan Walters, The Restless and the Young. Susan Walters of The Young and the Restless is the winner. As a resurrected Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters had an amazing year navigating life as an Abbott again, and all of its responsibilities. After making amends with her son, Diane married Jack Abbott and rose to the position of Lady of the Manor. Additionally, she was upset with Jack for using drugs while attempting to actively intervene with Nikki Newman, an alcoholic. Diane was terrified of losing Jack to addiction because of that experience. He would do anything for his ex-wife, which irritated her as well. Walters praised her 40-year husband Lyndon Ashby, who was nominated for Outstanding Guest Performer for his role as Cameron Kirsten on The Young and the Restless, in her winning speech. Michael and Peter Bergman: "You are the most generous scene partners that I have ever worked with." Josh Griffith: "When you brought Diane back to life, you gave me life." Walters also expressed gratitude to her co-stars and YNR's executive producer, Josh Griffith. Susan Walters, star of The Young and the Restless, discusses a sequence that won a Daytime Emmy. Susan Walters received the Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series for her portrayal of Diane on The Young and the Restless. The actress is now expressing what she was unable to say during her victory speech. Susan Walters, recipient of the Daytime Emmy for The Young and the Restless. Walters tells Soap Central, "I'm thrilled, thank you," after getting more congrats for her victory. Winners didn't hang around for very long after winning their prize, even though the show didn't have a tight time limit because it wasn't shown on television. Did Walters want to thank anyone else? The actress exclaims Maddie Kane in reference to the show's publicist and talent relations. "He keeps us in such great spirits all the time and takes such good care of us." Christian LeBlanc and Frit, the show's stage manager, are also listed on Walters' list of thanks. "I don't think I would have made it that first 6 months when I returned to the show without Fritz," adds Walters. "I wasn't used to the volume of material. Thursday nights, I'd cry to Lyndon Ashby, who was nominated in the guest performer category for this role as Cameron Kirsten, that I couldn't remember it." Walters received assistance at the studio in addition to at home. The actress remembers that Fritz used to reply, "Then we'll do it line by line." The actress, who made her daytime debut as a stubborn adolescent named Lorna Forbes on ABC's Loving in 1983, also wanted to express gratitude to Sally McDonald, the show's longtime director and most recent co-executive producer. "Sally directed one of the scenes in my reel," Walters explains. Green screen. On The Young and the Restless, Michael and Susan Walters. In addition, the Daytime Emmy winner would like to thank the whole YNR creative team, hair and makeup crew behind the scenes during the show. When Walters says, "We have to move really quickly. There's no fooling around. They are so much a part of what we do. I don't think about it. They're just there. I just do the scene." There was a scene between Walters and his TV son, Michael, on his victory reel. "This woman from Atlanta said that she saw this scene of me and she just started crying," said the actress. "She said it's just so hard to be a parent. Michael and I were doing a scene about Jabot business and then Cole got mad at Diane and it just broke my heart. He was like, 'Screw you, Mom.' And that broke Diane's heart even more." Michael was so good in the scenes. In The Young and the Restless, Walters remembers that she was wearing a green dress during the intense confrontation between mother and son. "I called it the green dress scene," she explains. "It could have happened with any mom." Over the Pasadena Civic Center, where the 52nd Annual Daytime Emmy Awards took place, lights shone brightly. It was a glittering, joyous, and very emotional evening. Daytime television stars and fans came in their best clothes, exchanging eagerness, humor, and awe for a skill that has undergone decades of development. The name of Susan Walters, who won the Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series award for her portrayal of Diane Jenkins Abbott on The Young and the Restless, rang out through the hall amid this glitzy constellation of presenters and nominees with both familiarity and fresh appreciation. Walters saw this as more than just a victory. It was the result of perseverance, creativity, and emotional integrity, the kind of commitment that characterizes daytime television in its purest form. Diane Jenkins returns after a year of resurrection. Longtime viewers raised their eyebrows when Diane Jenkins was brought back to life on The Young and the Restless. Revival has become an art form in soap operas, but Walters' reappearance was more than just a narrative device. It was a revival of legacy. One of Genoa City's most complicated characters for a long time was Diane Jenkins. She was once despised but was always fascinating. Returning to the role felt to Walters like returning to a world she had known well, but now approached with greater emotional knowledge. Throughout the year, Diane changed from a beleaguered stranger to a woman rediscovering her purpose, family, and love. Many people, including Walters herself, were moved to tears by the plot of her reconciliation with her estranged son, Kyle Abbott. She took on the position of matriarch at the Abbott mansion with a fresh sense of purpose after marrying Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, who had long stood for both love and conflict in her life. Her path wasn't painless, though. The plot touched the heart of every spouse who has ever worried about losing a loved one to addiction when Diane learned about Jack's relapse into drug usage, which was sparked by his foolish attempt to assist Nikki Newman with her alcoholism. In such scenes, Walters' unadulterated vulnerability, shaky anger, and silent sadness served as a reminder to viewers of why daytime dramas persist, because they capture the brittle, frequently muddy reality of human emotion. The triumphant night. The words "and the Emmy goes to Susan Walters, The Young and the Restless" appeared as the envelope opened. As it reverberated throughout the stage, the audience burst into cheers. Walters sprang up, his eyes wide, radiant but obviously surprised. Her character on and off screen was well captured in her acceptance speech, which was a combination of humility, appreciation, and genuine honesty. She started by saying, "Without my co-stars, I couldn't have accomplished anything," referring to Peter and Michael Bergman. She went on to thank Josh Griffith, the show's executive producer, saying, "When you brought Diane back to life, you gave me life." The audience realized that her words were true beyond metaphor. For Walters, this plot had reignited not just her character, but her creative spirit. "You are the most generous scene partners I've ever worked with," she said. Her husband of 40 years, Lyndon Ashby, who was nominated for Outstanding Guest Performer for his terrifying portrayal of Cameron Kirsten on the same episode, received her heartfelt gratitude. Their mutual inclusion in the circle of nominees represented a unique creative collaboration that has flourished over many years in Hollywood. She said, "Thank you, Lyndon," in a quiet but determined tone. "You have always been the thing that keeps me grounded." Behind the scenes, an artist's path. Walters spoke candidly and warmly about her victory in a post-ceremony interview with Soap Central. Still shining with incredulity, she answered simply, "Thank you, I'm thrilled." Out of consideration for her colleagues, Walters kept her acceptance brief even though the ceremony was not constrained by live broadcast time constraints. She still wishes she could have mentioned some of the folks, though. "K. Maddie." In reference to The Young and the publicist, she yelled. Walters also praised Christian LeBlanc, who plays Michael Baldwin, and Fritz, the show's stage manager, saying, He keeps us in such great spirits and takes such good care of us." She acknowledged, "I don't think I would have survived that first 6 months without Fritz." The sheer amount of stuff was overwhelming to me once more. I would sob to Lyndon on Thursday nights because I was having trouble remembering all of my lines. "Then we'll do it line by line," Fritz would simply say. It was an eye-opening look at the intensity of daytime television, which is frequently overlooked. Actors must learn extensive, emotionally complex scripts with limited time for rehearsal because several episodes are recorded each week. Walter's candidness about her difficulties made her triumph seem even more relatable and served as a reminder that even seasoned pros experience fatigue and self-doubt. The career's origins. Walters has more than 40 years of experience on daytime television. She debuted as the disobedient adolescent Lorna Forbes on Loving in 1983. Because of her vivacity and expressiveness, she was a perfect fit for soap operas, where characters change over many years and generations and performance currency is emotional reality. Walters played a variety of parts in movies and television shows throughout the years, but the genre that initially provided her a platform always seemed to remain her heart. In a way, going back to The Young and the Restless felt like coming home. When Walters played Diane Jenkins for the first time in the early 2000s, her portrayal offered the character more nuance than the stereotypical plotter. Fans never fully filled the vacuum left by Walters' departure when Diane's death was penned years later. Thus, her latest comeback was a love letter to devoted admirers as well as a creative gamble. The strength of collaboration. Walters with her co-stars. Walters' on-screen relationship with Michael as her son Kyle Abbott has maybe struck a deeper chord than any other aspect of her previous work. The emotional core of her Emmy-winning reel was their relationship, which was characterized by longing, reconciliation, and remorse. Walters remembered, "There was this one scene where Kyle yells, 'Screw you, Mom,' because he is so angry with Diane, and her heart was broken by it. I was also broken at that very moment." Walters' portrayal in the now famous green dress scene embodied a universal truth. Love can cause the greatest wounds, even in the face of rage. The mother-son conflict felt genuine, devoid of pretense, and rooted in mutual suffering. She said, "Michael was just so good in those scenes. I had everything to react to from him." The interaction between actors, directors, and the production team that enables emotional authenticity in soap operas is something that is sometimes overlooked. But Walters was eager to acknowledge that her achievement was shaped by unseen hands. Walters revealed, "One of the scenes in my reel was directed by our longtime director, Sally McDonald." Walters also commended the hair, makeup, and costume departments, saying they make it all possible. "She's now our co-executive producer, and she's just phenomenal," she said. "There is no time for tinkering because we move so quickly. We can simply perform the scene and have faith that it will look well because of them." A sign of grace and longevity. The victory of Susan Walters signifies not just personal success, but also the ongoing vitality of daytime drama in general and The Young and The Restless in particular. Driven by emotion, continuity, and human connection, soap operas continue to be one of television's purest narrative traditions in a media landscape increasingly dominated by streaming services and instant content. Diane Jenkins from Walters exemplifies these traits, damaged but resilient, hopeful but flawed. Her performance also highlights how women are increasingly portrayed in daytime drama. Diane has evolved from the stereotypical villainess of previous decades. She is now a woman recovering identity and agency as a mother, lover, and survivor thanks to Walters' nuanced performance. This intricacy reflects the desire for emotional intelligence and authenticity among today's audience. The emotional center, renewal, loss, and love. Although her trek to the podium was intensely personal, Walters' acceptance of her Emmy was an external celebration. She said it was both thrilling and scary to return to The Young and the Restless after a long absence. "The rhythm has changed," she remarked, "but it felt right once I found it again, once I regained my ability to breathe like Diane. There were innumerable late nights, lost lines, silent sobs, and moments of uncertainty behind the glitz and glamour of the Emmy stage. Walters, however, handled them all with poise, relying on her loved ones and coworkers. Her creativity is powerful because of her emotional openness and willingness to display flaws. Viewers saw not only a seasoned actress, but also a person negotiating the demands of art and expectations when Walters talked about her Thursday night breakdowns, sobbing to Lyndon that she couldn't remember another page. That's why her win struck such a deep chord. Perseverance was more important than perfection, tradition, and motivation. In many respects, Susan Walters' victory serves as a reminder of what the Daytime Emmys are intended to celebrate: perseverance, enthusiasm, and growth rather than short-lived celebrity. In a genre that is frequently written off for melodrama, her portrayal of Diane Jenkins has turned into a study in emotional truth. Walters shows that even the most dramatic plots can convey universal lessons about self-worth, forgiveness, and love when handled skillfully. Her appreciation was not limited to the industry. Millions of fans have watched The Young and the Restless through decades of changing plots and cast changes. So she made sure to thank the audience. They see Diane's return to life as a reflection of their own need for atonement and fresh starts. As a result, Walters' win felt like a victory for all those who have ever trusted in the potential of second chances. An evening to remember. Walters was standing with her peers at the end of the evening, holding her golden statuette and grinning in silent disbelief. Although there was a lot of congratulations and laughter around her, her look revealed something deeper, a contemplative joy that only results from years of hard work being acknowledged at last. Her husband, Lyndon, joined her, marking a single milestone in the couple's entwined careers. Although The Young and the Restless had once again shown its resilience by winning multiple categories, Walters' victory had a unique meaning. It was a celebration of a talent who had persevered through the industry's ups and downs and come out stronger, more complex, and incredibly adored. In summary, the core of daytime drama. Susan Walters' 2025 Daytime Emmy triumph stands out in the vast tapestry of daytime television as evidence of what makes the genre timeless. Characters that develop, performances that highlight the most human aspects of each of us, and storytelling that resonates. Beyond the film, Walters' portrayal of Diane Jenkins Abbott speaks to forgiving others, resiliency, and the beauty of emotional rebirth. Walters represented what every actor aspires to, a moment where love, craft, and recognition come together as she accepted her Emmy under the lights of the Pasadena Civic Center. Her succinct but sincere statement and her subsequent thoughts revealed a woman who is acutely aware of the significance of this honor, not only for herself but also for all those who value the power of narrative. She put it best when she said, "You gave me life when you brought Diane back to life." By doing this, Susan Walters breathed new life into daytime soap, The Young and the Restless, and the millions of viewers who continue to watch every day in hopes of seeing the truth represented, even in fiction.